I'm with the lovely Jason Chan, and we are at Chertsey Bookstore here in Surrey, and we're doing a book signing for Jason's book, The Radiant Warrior.
First time in here.
First time in here. It's first time for a lot of things tonight, actually. It's our first event at the new venue. We're looking forward to a wonderful evening in Jason's company. And say welcome to Surrey, welcome to Naked Dragon.
I'd love to be here. Beautiful town.
Thank you. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here.
Oh, thank you, Julie.
And, I'd love to ask you a few questions.
Please do,
okay.
please do, yes.
All right, that's wonderful. Thank you very much. So my first question for you, Jason. You are a Radiant Warrior, and if you hadn't have chosen the Radiant Warrior path, what path do you think you would have chosen, and how do you think your life would look right now?
Okay, so you can see this. The book is called The Radiant Warrior, so somebody called me Radiant Warrior. So what happened then, when I was very young, I was a martial artist. And then, I studied martial art, Chinese martial art, as well as the Tai Chi in my teenage. And then later on, I was a Chinese martial art instructor when I was 24 years of age. And then gradually, I reaching a point of spiritual awakening, and then I developed infinite Tai Chi system, and then since then I teach all over the world. And if I'm not choosing, choosing this kind of particular path, I call that energy path, the Taoist path, the yogic path. To sum up about the Radiant Warrior, because I actually find everything is vibrating with energy. And also everything, there's only two elements in the entire universe, energy and the mind. And then we have the consciousness. So if you say, if I'm not going to choose, my own path, which path am I choose? I can give you some idea. I studied A Course in Miracles for 26 years. I studied the Buddhist sort of teaching, Eastern philosophy, about 14 years. I study a lot of different, type of philosophy. So my path is very much a combination. So there is there's no such thing as a one path or the other path. I think I'm very much like a blending in the Eastern wisdom, power, empowerment, meditation, the Western psychology, psychoanalysis, deeply understanding about our own existence. So I would say my path is very universal. Yes, there is no such thing as it's one particular path. I actually embracing, if you like, I love to learn. I love to embracing all beautiful essential teaching.
Wonderful.
Yeah. If you have to ask me what sort of path I would like to take, the path of life.
Path of life.
That's
wow.
right.
Now that leads me very nicely actually onto my second question. You recently wrote a guest blog for the Naked Dragon website.
That's right.
And as part of the blog, you talk about choosing your spiritual path and sticking with that.
Yes.
You make reference to people who almost become a little bit of a spiritual junkie really, and they try one thing, they try another thing, they try a third thing, and they continue to search. Now, at what point do you believe that people make a decision as to what path is right for them? And until that point, don't they need to try out a few different subjects before they decide?
Definitely. Okay, so I'm one of the most, I call myself, and also I told all my students, I am one of the most practical spiritual practitioners down on earth. The most important thing is like this. We have to understand about two aspects of our human existence. Before our spiritually awake, we are very much based on our personality existence. And some teaching describe that as an ego self.
Yes.
So that's a path of the ego. The ego's path is based on uncertainty, doubt, suspiciousness, and also separation and fear. I don't think there's any path at all. However, so before one genuine spiritual awakening, I would suggest the person feel some positive clarity. So does this Radiant Warrior book talk about the radiant presence?
Yes.
Be more peaceful, be kind, be compassionate to your life, to the other people, love your family, support your children, and respect and honor your parents, and something like that. Be a wonderful person down on earth. and even be successful, happy, joyful. However, just like everything else, if you want to be successful and happy, there's a principle to govern that. So the principle is very easy. For me, you have to raise the vibration, expand your consciousness. What is possible for you? What is it? Your belief system which can support your life and the others. And that is, I call it the worldly path. The worldly path. That means you still have to live your life, but live your life beautifully, if you like. On a spiritual level, because the ego itself cannot attain enlightenment or do not really know oneself, because it's still artificial. So enlightenment, it got to come from the core being. The core being yearning for something, somebody called the soul. But it's very hard to pinpoint, okay, because there is no such thing as a so-called an entity called a soul. So sometimes we call the point of consciousness running out the world or the soul. And that aspect of you, which is remember your truth. And that aspect, at this moment, in this context, let's talk about it as a soul. When the soul awake, and the observer, that means within every one of us, we have consciousness, and then there's the observer. Notice we have two aspects. Two aspects. One is I call personality self, and one is your true self, the little true self. And then there's a battle. The battle down here is quite classic. It's between the head and the heart. So, and then the genuine spiritual path, it got to the path of the heart. And then gradually, the path of the heart overrides, okay, the logic, reason, intellectual limitation of our egoic, dualistic existence, thought system. And then you notice, okay, there's a spaciousness, there's intelligence, high wisdom, and higher power exists. Then you continue to choose, and then it will continue to expand your consciousness and your presence, because energy and the mind is still connected. And then gradually you expand it so much, and you, without a shadow of doubt, you realize, okay, you are not really being imprisoned or bound by time and space. You gradually become a free spirit. When you're reaching this point, you would like to utilize your human existence as a temple, as a channel, to express the sheer beauty of your soul, or the beauty of the universe. That is wonderful.
I love your description, the path of the heart. That's a beautiful way to describe it. That will really resonate.
Oh, thank you so much.
In fact, that leads me very nicely on to my final question for you, Jason, which again I believe is coming from the heart for many people. We're beginning to see a lot of green shoots all around the world of building of communities.
Yes.
Do you see this continuing to develop in a positive way? And if so, how differently do you think the world's going to look in 5 years' time?
Okay, prediction.
Yes.
Okay, and that is completely different than the power of now, the power of eternal now. It's like this. There's no such thing as a fixed. The prediction is very dependent on the momentum. So coming back into this subject. Human beings, when they got together, they only do two things. One is called joining, and one is called making a mess. We argue, we hate each other, okay? That's a usual personality thing. Community do not really exempt from the egoic sort of thought system, creating conflict, and then, I like you, I don't like you, okay, why do you do this to me, and all this kind of thing. However, the Eastern philosophy is very much like that. In the Buddhist teaching, talk about Sangha. Okay, Sangha. Once upon a time, in the ancient past, okay, they talk about a group of monks or nuns. They got together to pursuing truth. They meditate together. They help in supporting each other, and it's beautiful. And even in the Buddhist teaching, talk about free treasures. One of it is Dharma, the Buddhist teaching. The second one, it is the Buddha itself, very much like the Christ, the Buddha within ourselves. The other one, it is the spiritual community or spiritual friendship or the spiritual group. I totally agree with it. Providing, okay, we have a very strong presence of the light and a very strong presence of peace, very strong presence of a true purpose. So we can override, okay, some of the unskillfulness of our ego existence. So I think it's a very, very positive. But however, So as we go through our awakening and healing process, we were still facing quite a lot of external projections. Namely, that means our fear, our conflict, our irritation, and our belief in lack and scarcity. So we still have to transcend all those aspects. But having said that, the whole world is a hunger, okay, for true knowledge. And hunger for, how can I be spiritual and attain to true knowledge to satisfy my soul and my heart. At the same time, okay, to transcend the limitations of our human existence. So that means, as I always suggest, okay, be healthy, be successful, and also, be a life present, so you can, hold the other people's hands. So your life will be beautiful. And then we got more and more people like this, just like you, okay? So, bring Naked Dragon into the world and then introduce something seemingly is based on universal truth and principle. I'm an optimist. So I will see the world getting better and better. But then, as usual, before you actually come out with some real good, so there's a split. As I already pointed out, we awake individually as well as collectively, we split to see the beauty as well as the beast.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that means the light and the shadow.
Yes.
So I don't think the shadow will win, but then the light have to be shining more,
Yes.
and then the shadow simply melting away. Okay.
So we'll all become radiant warriors.
Definitely. And also some ladies say, okay, radiant warrior is too masculine. So and then I put it, okay, if you're a lady, you can be a radiant warrior princess. Yes.
And on that beautiful description, Jason, I would say thank you, bless you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure, and we're looking very much forward to your talk this evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.